Welcome to Raider Zone. This is first episode of 2025, January 17th. Let's just get right into it real quick here. First off, let's talk a little NFL playoffs into the divisional round now. Got a few really good matchups, that I think people probably are a lot picking one side. But, Will Moyer here with Kris Jacoby and Ramsey Reith. Three-man show for right now. I think, unfortunately, Kris is going to have to be leaving us here sometime, but he's here now. So let's just get into playoff talk. Kris, do you want to start us off?
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about the game Saturday. So we got the Texans-Chiefs starting it off. The Chiefs are favored, obviously. They're 8-point favorites. They're at home. 3-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs have won the Super Bowl the past 2 years. This matchup is actually more exciting than what some people think it will be. I mean, the Chiefs have been in one-possession games all year, and the Texans' defense is playing the best they've had all season. That's an elite defense they got. And if C.J. Stroud can just keep clicking, I think the Texans have a chance to really make this a game that goes down to the wire. What about you?
I'd say definitely could see this being a one-score game for sure. Like you said, Chiefs, I mean, they're still, what did they finish, 16-1?
15-2.
15-2, okay. 15-2, but it wasn't a very convincing 15-2, which sounds crazy, but, I mean, it really wasn't. I could definitely see the Texans winning this game. I think it's gonna come down to which offense can play better. Both teams, I think, have very good defenses. It's just if C.J. Stroud can have a good game, they can get the run game going, gotta limit turnovers. I think this is going to be a game that's decided by maybe one thing, whether it's turnovers, penalties, how well they can throw the ball. Just one small thing I think is going to decide this game. Ramsey?
Yeah, I hope the Texans can pull through too. If they can't get off to the start they did, though, against the Chargers, I think against the Chiefs. If they do that again, I think the Chiefs I don't know what it is. Everybody says it every year. Once the playoff Chiefs are insane.
Devil magic.
And yes, like all season. But 429 total yards of offense the Texans had against the Chargers, which I wasn't expecting, especially after that slow start. And Stroud was able to get close to 300 passing yards. Nico Collins, 122 yards receiving and a touchdown. Mixon had a touchdown as well. So if they play like they did all game, like they did in the second half against the Chiefs, I think the Texans will.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised. I thought the Chargers were going to win that wild card game. The Texans kind of were limping into the playoffs. C.J. Stroud didn't look that great, and the defense wasn't as good as it was against the Chargers. That defense was really good, but they're gonna. Like you said, they can't have a slow start against the Chiefs. Really, they're gonna have to limit their mistakes, because the Chiefs are a very good team, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, first two possessions of that game, I think it was 5 minutes in, Chargers already had a 6-0 lead. Defense was able to hold them to 2 field goals, but can't have that start against the Chiefs.
Yeah. So what's the next game on Saturday? Saturday night?
Oh, yeah, Saturday. Do you want to do a prediction, though, for that game? Like quick
score prediction?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I got Chiefs 27, Texans 21.
Okay. Ramsey, you go.
I hope it'll be a low scoring. I think the Chiefs will end up taking this one, though, in a low scoring game, 2013.
I'm going to go with the Texans, 31-27.
I hope you're right. I do hope you're right.
Yeah, I do too.
As for the game after that, though, Saturday Night Football, 9.5-point favorite.
Wow.
Lions, Commanders. I mean, the home team Lions, best team in the NFC this year, 15-2.
Yeah.
By far looked like the best team in the regular season. But the Commanders, they've won so many games by 6 or less points. And each team in NFL history, I think I seen this today on Instagram, each team that has won 8+ games by 6 or less points has made the Super Bowl. I mean, if that's in check for the Commanders, they might just sneak by a few teams. I mean, they looked really good against Tampa Bay. Got the game-winning field goal at the end. Shout out to Zane Gonzalez. But this game could really be interesting. Like, I could see the Commanders possibly pulling off a big upset.
I mean, whatever happens, I think this is going to be a very fun game. Two head coaches who really like to, just go for it on fourth down. Yes. Both of them are very, very aggressive head coaches, which I really enjoy watching. to the detriment or to the good of the team. I guess we'll see. Jaden Daniels is so good that it makes me kind of want to think the Commanders have a chance. But the Lions, even though they have had a lot of injury trouble, that kind of slowed them down towards the end of the season, they're still really, really good, especially that offense. And the Commanders do not have a good defense, at all.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a really fun game, but I think the Lions are gonna take it. I'd say probably 10+ points they'd win by.
Yeah, somewhere down the road, I think the Lions will win this game easily. Not easily, but I think they'll get the job done. But down the road, if the Lions want to win a Super Bowl, Dan Campbell's decisions to go for it on 4th and 1 on his own 20-yard line, 30-yard line, or just going for it in general.
I mean, that's just who he is, though.
I know, but that guy's got some of the biggest balls I've ever seen. Bro, just...
Yeah. I love it, though.
I do.
Campbell.
It's
that's
really
Lions
risky,
football.
but I feel like somewhere down the road of this Super Bowl run that I think they're going to have, it's going to cost them.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Will that cost them?
But
I don't know. I could play in
I
their
think
favor,
they're going to
though.
win
We'll
this
see.
game.
We'll see.
Commanders will keep it close, but then the Lions
I think
will
a
run
lot of
away.
the time in football, if a play call works, a guy is praised as a genius, and if the same play call doesn't work, then he's stupid. So we'll just see if Dan Campbell is a genius or an idiot.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
But my prediction for this game is I have the Lions 33, Commanders 20.
Okay, I like that.
I think the Lions will easily handle the Commanders 35-17.
Ooh, okay, I'll say 42-30.
Okay.
High-scoring game.
Wow.
All right.
Two great offenses.
Ready for the Sunday games?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start off at 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. We have the Los Angeles Rams and Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites, and the over/under this game's 43.5. I mean, that's two. I mean, two really good defenses, especially the Eagles' best defense in the league this year, arguably. The Rams' offense has been clicking lately, though.
Yeah.
Look at last week; they had an amazing week. Matthew Stafford had an outstanding game. Then offensively for the Eagles, they just rode Saquon. Jalen Hurts was struggling throughout the game, but I feel like this might just be the game of the weekend. I feel like it could be. I just feel
we got a game after that.
I know, but maybe the NFC game.
Okay,
we'll go.
Sure.
But best game of the NFC. I think this game's gonna go
I do
down
think this
the
can be a
wire.
very good game, and I think the Rams are probably if I were to pick one upset, I think the Rams are probably the most popular pick. Even though I said Texans, which is an upset. But I do think the Eagles are going to win this game. Saquon is just so good. He's having one of the best running back seasons in the past, 10 years or whatever. Just really, really good. Their defense is incredible. Jalen Hurts, he doesn't even really have to have that great of a game for them to be really good. But the Rams are also very experienced team. They got one of my favorite quarterbacks of this generation, Matt Stafford. He's one of my favorites, and they got good receivers. Ladd McConkey.
No, that's the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Oh.
You're thinking of Puka Nakua.
Yes,
You're
I'm
thinking
thinking
of Cup.
that's my bad.
Ladd McConkey, that is a fun name.
That's my bad. But yeah, I think Eagles are going to take this one.
I think the Rams are going to win this one personally. It's in my name, Ramsey, and
you're wearing blue and yellow.
Fun. Yeah, that is true. But
great analysis from us.
They had 9
The
sacks.
Rams are going to win because my name is Ramsey and I'm wearing blue and yellow.
They had 9 sacks against the defense.
Wow, really?
Against the Vikings. They had 9 sacks. Darnold couldn't do anything. So if the run game's going to have to get going for the Eagles, I think. Obviously, Barkley is a great guy to do it. The dude can do a reverse hurdle somehow. But I think the Rams take this one in the end. You got Nakua, you got Cooper Kupp, veteran presence. Kyron Williams, he's a solid running back. Matthew Stafford, veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
He's done this before. This team has done it before. We know what they're capable of. But
this game also is in Philadelphia, which is outside, and it's going to be really cold.
Snowy too.
Philadelphia definitely the better running team, I would say. So I would say that also kind of gives them an edge. But I mean, Stafford's an experienced quarterback. He's played everywhere. That is indoors, but
Well, speaking of edge,
he did play in Detroit.
I think the Eagles had the edge too. You know,
Yeah.
just home field advantage. You know, the weather's going to be huge in that game,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to lead to my Eagles. Not my Eagles,
Fly,
my
Eagles,
Eagles.
fly.
My Eagles prediction. Actually, my Nick Sirianni Eagles, Mount Union
Facts.
alum. Give me the Eagles.
He is our Eagle. They
He
are our
is.
Eagles.
24-19 Eagles.
Okay. Ramsey?
I say the Rams take this one 27-24.
Ooh. I'll say Eagles 24-20.
Wow.
My prediction.
Added the point. All right. For the Sunday night game, the game of the weekend, everyone's
Definitely.
on the edge of their seat for this one.
I'm glad it's the
It's-
final game.
It's going to be 6:30 p.m. Sunday night. Ravens 1.5-point favorites in
That's
Buffalo.
surprising me.
Over under though 51.5. This is projected to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead. Give us your thoughts right away.
Oof. I mean, this is just what more can you ask for?
MVPs
This-
right there.
Two guys who are the MVP favorites, two teams who have had exceptional seasons. I would say these are probably the two favorites in the AFC. The Chiefs, even though they're 15-2, people kind of are throwing them under.
It's hard to though.
But
after
I still,
the Chiefs.
but this just, I can't wait for this one. Two of the best quarterbacks, two teams with great defenses, just all around great teams. I'm surprised that the Ravens are favored in this game because the Bills, especially being at home, they're at their own stadium. There's gonna be snow. I'm sure there's gonna be snow, and it's gonna be really cold. I think the Bills should be favored in this one. I think they just have had a really good year.
Well, if you want the weather forecast,
Yes.
hold on. It is supposed to be 18 degrees. I don't see snow though. It's cloudy though. 18 degrees. It's gonna be very cold.
It's probably gonna feel like 10 or 8
Yeah.
single digit.
So I'm gonna give you my prediction. This game is going to
Okay.
be amazing.
It's gonna be
Lamar
fun.
and Josh Allen are going to show up, show out.
I hope
And
so.
Ravens defense has been playing really good ball lately. And the Bills, they've been doing their job. They shut down the Broncos, had a very solid offense. Run game's inconsistent, but they had a really good passing game. They shut that down. Wow, this game's tough. Like I've been leaning towards both teams like different days of the week. Like I think this is going to be an insane game.
I hate having to pick a team in this one because
I know.
I'm just so excited.
I know if this was the AFC Championship, that would have been better. But we'll take this. I'm gonna.
Winner will play the Chiefs. That's even better.
I don't know. Maybe those Texans.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even pick the.
But I got the Bills 30,
Okay.
Ravens 28.
Ooh. So a Bills win.
Bills win.
Tight win.
I want the Bills to win, and I think they're gonna win. I hate Baltimore.
Thanks for that analysis.
You're welcome. But Josh Allen is just very electric. The receivers are electric. The Ravens too. Everything about them. And if Zay Flowers returns, that'll be huge for them. Has it been said?
I thought he's out.
He's been ruled out.
Actually,
because I saw an article where it said he's a game time decision.
We'll
But
see here. Doubtful. He's listed as doubtful.
Okay. Harbaugh said maybe he could play, but that stinks for them. But I think that'll give the Bills the edge right there, and I think it's going to be quite a high-scoring game. I got the Bills 37 and the Ravens 31.
Yeah, I said it before, but I think this game is as well going to probably come down to who can take care of the ball, especially in the cold weather. It's two quarterbacks who have not really had a whole lot of turnovers. I think they both are at their lowest of their career in terms of interceptions. I'm not exactly sure on fumbles, but give me the Ravens. I like the Ravens.
Ooh, okay.
On the road, I think they're going to get it done.
What's that score?
Let's say 27-23. Weird score.
Okay.
Ravens. It's going to come down to the end, though. Ravens going to win it. Last minute touchdown.
All
That's
right.
what I'll say.
You want to talk about these coaching moves? You want me to get something rocking on that?
Sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about like the biggest ones.
Yeah.
I'll brief everything. Like I'll overview everything that's the main ones that have happened, then we'll talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
So, first off, New England Patriots fired Gerard Mayo after 1 year, and a lot of people were thinking it's because they won that final game that cost them the number 1 pick. I don't know if that's true, but
I think they've known for a while that they wanted to get Mike Vrabel.
That's what I was about to get to. That's probably the best signing out there. He's their new head coach. That's an amazing hire. And the Cowboys let go of Mike McCarthy. That's going to be a hot spot. I know Deion's been mentioned. I don't think he leaves Colorado. He's building something special there. So that'll be a hot spot for a lot of top candidates. And the Raiders are still open after firing Antonio Pierce.
Bears too, I believe.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars all fired their head coaches, and the New Orleans Saints, because they only had an interim head coach. They fired Dennis Allen middle of the season, and New York Jets. Robert Saleh was fired early in the year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good spots open. It's just going to be how does my biggest one is the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the highest profile job. That's available right now. That or probably the Bears, I would say.
Because you got Caleb Williams, you got your guy already.
Chicago's just a huge market.
Yeah,
they said they interviewed Arthur Smith, the Steelers' offensive coordinator. They interviewed him for the head coaching
Who
job.
did?
The Bears.
Oh,
They've interviewed
the Bears have interviewed everybody.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be the best guy on the market, though? Probably Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's probably the best remaining. Yeah. I'll say it, okay? Ramsey, I don't know if you're going to like this or hate this, but I think it's time for Mike Tomlin to go. Just because not that he's bad at all. I think he is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I just think you get to a point where it's time to move on, time to get a new voice in the locker room. And I think Tomlin is probably going to I think my prediction is that he's going to leave and he's going to be the hottest name.
I agree with that. I've been saying. I mean, it's been the past 8 years now where we haven't.
Well, I don't know about 8. I don't think he's been. It's been 8 years that he needed to go, but.
No, I'm saying the past 8 years where we haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah, and I think his voice in the locker room is just stale, and he just needs something new.
He needs a fresh start somewhere.
It really is.
Maybe you know what a good spot for him would be? Las Vegas.
The Raiders. You think he'd be good on the Raiders?
I think he could turn them around. Then he would beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
I think he could really turn any team around.
It's just he is a good head coach, but he doesn't have the locker room. George Pickens is a head case. Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson apparently worked through not a very good relationship. There was friction.
Classes.
There was friction there, and they didn't really get a bond. Arthur Smith wanted Fields all along, apparently, but they worked through it or something, staying after practice and working on stuff, but everything in the locker room is just a mess for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Offense, the head coaching job, and our defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin, the numbers have slowly went down ever since we got rid of Butler, our former, our past defensive coordinator. Like the sack numbers, I think we had close to 60 in 2020, 2021, but then Terrell Austin comes in. We're getting only 40 sacks now.
Yeah.
And that's something I saw, and I'm fine with changing everything. I want to change everything.
Yeah, I think they're. If a team was to fire their coach that is a playoff team, I think they're the ones that would do it.
Yeah, and everyone keeps telling me "Oh, dude, you made the playoffs, bro. They look you." I don't care. I would rather go 3-13. I'd rather go 3-13 and get a first-round draft pick. I'd rather get a high draft stock and then just build up.
Well,
I'm tired of going 9-8, 10-7, 10-7.
Just like Mike Tomlin said, he told
it's just annoying.
Guys like Chase Young, we will never be bad enough to get a guy like you when he was a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
So if they want to be bad for a couple years, you got to get rid of them. You got to tank. Build up your team. Get your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. So best coaches on the market right now that are still available. Ben Johnson, would we say, is number 1?
Yeah.
Is Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, he would be up there.
Who else is free right now?
Are we? Let me look at something real quick. Sorry, I kind of forget who the coordinators are. That's on me. Kris Jacoby's, I think
Kris
he's
Jacoby.
available.
I've heard his name mentioned a few times for the
he's on the
for the
market.
Jaguars job.
Oh, something about Florida. And Flores is a top candidate. Vikings.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Cliff Kingsbury's probably a good candidate.
I wish the Steelers wouldn't have.
I think he's a guy who should stay a coordinator.
You think he should? I mean, I'm just saying he's available. Both lines coordinators, of course, Ben Johnson being one of them. Liam Cohen's another one. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Weaver, defensive coordinator, Miami Dolphins. He's on the market. Pete Carroll's still a free agent.
That's true.
But I don't know. If
I think he's retired.
Todd Monken, Baltimore offensive coordinator. Okay. He's going to have interest. Aaron Glenn.
Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator, could have some interest.
Oh, Joe Brady?
Yeah, Joe Brady. Yeah.
He might have interest. Yeah, I feel like he would probably get at least an interview or two.
Yeah.
I think.
What do you guys think about Gerard Mayo getting fired after 1 year?
I don't like that.
But
I think you got the best coach available.
I can understand it from the Patriots' perspective, but I mean it just stinks for Gerard Mayo. I mean he just got screwed.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a very good roster and
no, it was a horrible.
Did his best to win games. They were competitive in a lot of the games they were in.
I think he's going to be a great hire wherever he goes, coordinator role wise.
I'm sure he'll be back as
I heard
head coach probably sometime in the next 10 years.
I heard him and Kris Jacoby are building a team, actually. Expansion team.
Wow. Where is that team going to be?
Hawaii.
In Hawaii, okay.
Hawaii.
But, yeah, I would say Ben Johnson's number one. Oh, Jesse Minter's also got to be available for defensive coordinator for the Chargers. So these spots will start to fill out over the next, by the Super Bowl. Most of them will be filled out.
It'll be interesting to see. The team I'm most intrigued by is the Bears. Just because they've interviewed so many guys and they have a history of screwing things up, and I'm just curious to see how they're probably going to screw it up. Ron Rivera, also a guy who is available that I don't know if he's still got it, but yeah. That about it for coaching?
Yeah. Want to talk about most disappointing team?
Yeah.
Like just one team.
We can each give a pick for who to us was the most disappointing team this year. Yes. Are you gonna wax poetic about your Cleveland Browns?
I could. I really very well could. But I'm not. I'm gonna refuse to pick and be biased and pick them. I'm gonna pick another team.
Okay.
Hold on. I gotta grab the mic. The team that you won't believe who I'm gonna pick though.
Okay.
Like you won't.
Can I get one guess?
Please just guess.
The Vikings.
Nope. Oh no, they exceeded my expectations.
I know,
they were rebuilding and they went 14-3.
The Dolphins.
Nope.
Okay, I'm done guessing.
I already know.
You want to guess?
You just keep looking at me right now.
Is it the Steelers?
No.
That would be me.
It's
really
the New York Jets.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers.
That is true.
He actually had a solid year number wise.
I honestly expected them. I didn't expect them to put it together.
I expected them to win at least 9 games though.
Really?
To be competitive. Yeah. They disappointed me. I was confident Robert Saleh to have another top 3 defense like the year before.
Saleh, he's another head coach
He's available.
Yeah.
But
I think he's a good head coach.
I think he would go to a coordinator role for a little bit again.
Yeah, but I still think he's a good coach. I don't think that Jets thing was his fault.
I think the organization it was more on the organization.
Oh, yeah. 17-year-olds making decisions.
Because of Madden ratings. Thank you for Jerry Jeudy, Jets. You saved my life. You made my 3-14 season exciting.
That is insane. Yeah, the Jets really were disappointing. And then when I remember this was earlier when the Steelers beat the Raiders and then the Jets got Devontae Adams from the Raiders, and then they had Devontae Adams. They're like, all right, maybe they can turn it around here. And then Russell Wilson's first game as a Steeler just absolutely dominates the Jets, and then ever since they just kept losing and losing and losing. It really was disappointing. I think it's time for Rodgers to hang it up.
Well, we'll see. I think he's got another year as a bridge, maybe. But we'll see. That's a whole nother conversation.
He can, but I don't think he should.
I don't think he should.
I think time to hang him up.
Who's even like the quarterbacks that we watched growing up? Like Stafford, obviously, is still.
Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning.
Everyone's gone.
Drew Brees.
For the most part, yeah.
And then
Kirk Cousins.
Rodgers is one of
Robert
those.
Griffin III.
I'm gonna get to.
Rodgers is one of those last guys that's it's time to hang it up.
All right, well, you want to do your pick.
Yeah, I was looking through the NFL. There were a lot of teams that kind of didn't live up to their expectations this year. But for me, the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, what happened? How do you 8-9? They signed Kirk Cousins for. I mean, how big was that contract?
It was big, but not
Huge.
like crazy.
It was respectable.
For how old he is, I think that contract definitely was too big.
Coming off an injury, that's just the biggest thing.
Yeah, and they have so many guys on that team. They just couldn't put it together. And I thought, I mean, the NFC South, Tampa Bay is a very respectable team. They're a good team. But I thought that division was the Falcons to win. And they almost, I mean, they could have won it still in the last week. And they lose to the Panthers, and they don't even make the playoffs. I mean, yeah, the Falcons very disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins had a bad year. I guess Penix, it did look decent in the couple of games he played, so a little something to look forward to, I guess.
Future.
But Kyle Pitts
he's
never. I think it's just time to give it up whenever I draft him in fantasy.
It's not happening.
It's
Drake
Kirk
London
Cousins is going to unlock
special,
him.
though.
Yeah, and Robinson he had a good season.
They're special.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson, he had are
they just gonna build around
almost 1,500 yards.
Yeah, they're building around Michael
They're gonna
Penix.
build around him now.
I think he's a good. I think
team.
he's good.
He's the next Mike Vick.
What would you do if Kirko went to Cleveland?
I'd be happy. That's the perfect bridge quarterback. He fits in Kevin Stefanski's wide zone scheme system. Heavy play action, heavy run. That's exactly what we want to do. And Deshaun didn't want to do that.
Watson's gonna be out another year, right?
Yeah, he's on the PUP list, so we get our money back insurance-wise. He gets his money, but we get the $46 million back. Thank you, NFL, for insurance.
Thank you, NFL.
I think you did. You're happy that happened.
Another team.
Well, he might not even play.
Another team that was disappointing to me was the Bengals.
Get rid of him.
Bengals.
It's their defense. I'm
Their
not
defense
disappointed in
was
the team. I'm disappointed in the defense.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, which running back that I was really shocked that really stepped up. That entire offense. What?
Oh,
Gesicki, was it? Yeah, that's their tight end.
The 49ers. How did they fit? I mean, injuries. But finishing last in that division, 6-11. I don't think
injuries
really anybody
killed
expected
them.
that. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta go. Can I get my pick for the college football playoff though?
Yeah, sure.
Just real
championship pick.
You guys will talk about it. But Buckeyes are gonna win the national championship. They're winning 30-17. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Kris. Thank you for
True,
being on Raider Zone.
It's gonna happen.
28 minutes.
Good 28 minutes from Mr. Jacoby. We're gonna miss him dearly.
All right, have fun.
Have fun. You have fun, Kris.
Hi, Chris.
But let's just get into college football now then, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I mean, it's the championship game, Ohio State and Notre Dame. What are your thoughts on this matchup and everything going into it, Ramsey?
It's just crazy. I mean, first ever expanded playoff, and my brother Blaine's favorite team, Notre Dame, and obviously mine, Ohio State Buckeyes. 8 seed, 7 seed meeting. This is why this thing is exciting. This bracket, this whole thing is exciting.
People complained about it the whole way, but I mean, it's
exciting.
It's good.
It really is exciting. I mean, Arizona State giving Texas a tough ride there in double OT.
Such a great game.
And obviously that targeting call, but blah, blah, blah. That's another story.
Yeah.
But I do think Ohio State on paper, miles better than the Irish. I think Ohio State, if they take care of business, they're definitely going to win by 2 possessions. And I said myself, Buckeyes are probably going to win this game like 34-13, 34-17. Maybe Notre Dame hangs for like a quarter or even the first half where they're down like 10-3, but in the end, I think the Buckeyes will run away. And if it is true that Notre Dame runs man coverage on over half of their defensive snaps, it's what they do. It's what my brother Blaine told me. It's what Freeman and this Notre Dame defense does. Jeremiah Smith's going to have a field day. Let alone, you got Mecca Ibuka, Carnell Tate, G. Scott Jr., Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. I could go
There's
on.
Too many
Will Howard's a
weapons.
dog. I mean, he's really picked it up in these playoffs.
And I mean, not even the offense. The defense has been
oh
playing
my
out of their
God.
mind
Good
in these
Lord.
playoffs.
Ransom, Sawyer, Igmanosa, Caleb Downs is
Caleb
insane.
Downs
the
is-
All-American.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
just
so mad
everyone.
that he left
Denzel
Alabama.
Burke is picking it up. Just this entire Ohio State team is just feeling it right now. And
Yeah.
Notre Dame, I feel like they're too one-dimensional, and their offense relies on the run game. Riley Leonard, I don't even think I think they have a passing touchdown. I think 1 or 2. But they
Jeremiah
rely
Love
too
is
much on the
very
run
good.
game.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Love is
Jeremiah
very,
Love
very good.
is really good. But if they are one-dimensional just in the run game, and Ohio State shuts that down, they easily shut down the passing game with
Yeah.
Ransom, Igmanosa, Burke, and Caleb Downs, as you said.
Mm-hmm. I think the only way Ohio State loses this game is, I mean, if Ohio State makes a bunch of mistakes, turnovers and stuff.
If Ryan Day
Or-
makes silly play calls.
If Ryan Day does the thing he did with Michigan, gets in his own head and tries to play a really physical game and just run the ball
No, just play
instead
your
of
game.
just throwing it over the top, throwing it over Notre Dame because
Take shots down the field.
Yeah, Notre
they
Dame's
run
not going
man
to be able to
coverage,
stop him. Yeah.
If they run man coverage, like I said, I think it was like 57% of snaps they run man coverage.
Yeah, that's
Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, I could go on.
you can't double somebody because everybody is good enough to get doubled.
Yeah, it's like in that Texas game we saw. I mean, they definitely schemed up a defense for Jeremiah Smith, which is insane, the 19-year-old. But then what does that open up? Carnell Tate, he had close to 100 receiving yards in that game.
One of his best games
G.
of the
Scott
year.
Jr. stepped up. Micah Buka stepped up. The run game stepped up. And the O-line's insane as well. But
I just hope this game stays close because
hopefully we don't have a Georgia TCU game.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
I don't think it'll be that bad. But if Notre Dame does let us catch fire and we get a 2-possession lead, you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
You can't dig yourself a 2-possession hole. But if Ohio State executes,
it's their game to win.
34-13.
It's their game to win. For
Notre
sure.
Dame's here for a reason too, so I won't be shocked if we have a low-scoring, close game. Because Notre Dame's defense, they can punch you right in the mouth and they can keep pace with you. So
yeah. So I think that's about it for the championship. But also look back on the season. Maybe talk about some of our favorite players from the season, some of our favorite games or moments, anything like that. For me, favorite game has to be the Alabama-Georgia game that was in week 4 or 5. I was personally on top of the world. I thought Jalen Milroe is the greatest quarterback ever. He's going to win the Heisman. We're going to win it all in year 1 with Kalen DeBoer. Ryan Williams made those 2 insane catches, which he probably was my favorite player from this season. Jeremiah Smith definitely won the battle of who the better freshman receiver was. But Ryan Williams, I mean, he's
insane.
Is
he 18?
He's almost
yet?
as good. I assume he's 18 now.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and then you kind of mentioned it, the Arizona State and Texas game. I just could not believe what I was seeing when I was watching that game. That probably was another of my favorite games of this season.
That was my favorite game. That was my favorite game of the season. It was just insane, that comeback they had. 24-8. I was like, they're down 2
another
possessions.
favorite player, yeah.
And like how people are always doing that math, like, we're down 2 possessions, but you have to get a 2-point conversion.
And
And you have to get 2 stops.
And they did it.
They did. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
30, and then obviously the 4th and 13. I think it was 4th and 13. Texas got the touchdown.
Yeah, that's just
that was such an insane game. And then another one that was insane for me. I'm a Pitt fan also.
Yeah.
Yes, the game I went to against Syracuse. Just being there, we were number 18. We were in the race for the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Eli Holstein goes insane. Our defense goes insane. Gets 3 pick sixes, 6 interceptions overall on Kyle McCord. And just that game was insane. I forget the final score, but we won pretty handily. And just being at that game myself, it was a Larry Fitzgerald bobblehead night too, which I had no idea. Larry Fitzgerald was there too. His induction into the Pitt Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. But that game overall, being at the game, there was a lot of people there, which I was shocked about. At the Steelers Stadium, there's a lot of people there, but that was my favorite game.
Yeah, another Clemson SMU, the ACC championship game. I remember we were watching that, and that was just an insane ending.
Yeah, that field goal.
Yeah. Oregon, Ohio State, the regular season game. That was, not a good result for you, but that was a really crazy game.
Got our revenge.
Yeah. And, just some really this was a good season. A lot of really good games.
It really was a weird season. Just a lot of upsets. Vandy beating Bama. And then, jeez, what else? There's just so many. The only one I can name off the top of my head is the Vandy over Alabama. But there was just a crap ton of upsets that if I looked up and be like, wow, I remember that. Which is why this new playoff bracket, expanded playoff, I love it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine right now at 12. Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, and I think a lot of people agree on it, is just to not give the top 4 conference winners buys.
Don't make it 2 weeks.
Just give the top 5 conference winners bids, but not necessarily buys. Just rank them wherever they are.
Yeah. I think I'm fine with the buys getting.
This was also a very weird season, so I don't think every season is going to be like this.
I think they'll realize, like, hey, we just gave them like nearly a month off. Sure, the players will like that, but at the same time, you want to get back into it. Back into the thick of things.
Because Oregon just got punched in the mouth.
Oregon, best team all season, 13-0.
Yeah.
And then you run into Ohio State, red hot against Tennessee. They're feeling it coming into Pasadena, California in the Rose Bowl. 34-0.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all. I don't think anyone did, for that matter.
No.
But they need to fix like the scheduling, I think, with that. I'm fine with the first round buys. But don't leave a whole month off.
Yeah, that's probably the bigger thing, is fixing scheduling.
Yeah. And like the seeding, like whoever wins, like you play this seed and this seed or whatever, so forth. It's just crazy that the Buckeyes, I guess technically the lowest seed, running into Oregon is just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This was also like you said, a very weird season. I don't think most seasons are going to be as weird as this one, where we have these low ranked teams getting buys.
Yeah.
I think about it for college football, unless you have anything else.
No, it's a fun season.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Buckeyes fish it up for another one. Won the first 4-team playoff. Win the first 12-team playoff.
Yep. Good job. We're all real proud of you guys. So let's get over to basketball. Talk a little NBA. All-star voting right now. Hopefully we get 4 Cavs in there. We'll see what it ends up being, but do we want to talk about the Cavs? Unfortunate loss last night.
Yeah, these things happen. It's the NBA and the Thunder. Yes, they didn't have Hartenstein, and what's the other big's name? He played for Gonzaga.
Oh,
I don't know his name.
I can't remember.
I need to
I know
look.
Exactly who you're talking about. Guy who looks like Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. Yes, you'll have to look that up. But
he's out for like a while.
Yeah, but those two obviously being out, and we obviously planned for that.
Mm-hmm.
But Thunder, they were quick. They're one of the top teams in the league as well. I think they're tied
Chet
now. Holmgren.
Yes, he is very good. That's a big loss.
Yeah, that is a big loss. But it was just a bad start, and I think a big thing was the Cavs didn't really get their bigs involved enough in that first half. Like, first 5 minutes, it was like when we were up 12-10, and then when it was 12-10, they just ran away. I think it was a 26-2 run.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was bad, and like I said, these things happen. It is what it is. You're 34-6. You're one of the top teams for a reason. You just got to move on from that. Thunder, everything was clicking. They were quicker, faster, everything. Just they came out firing on all cylinders, getting steals and everything. But it is what it is. They split. Cavs took care of business in the first one in a high-scoring game, a lot of lead changes, and then obviously the Thunder running away with this one pretty early, and then ever since.
Yeah, Cavs were up 12-10, and then they were down 14-40. So that's the game right there.
Yeah, I just remember that was bad. That was really bad.
I don't think it's really anything to worry about for the Cavs, though.
It is.
It's just sometimes,
It isn't.
It's
Like
not
I
your
said,
night.
these things happen. It wasn't our night.
Especially
Got to move on against tomorrow.
Especially
and
in
take on
Oklahoma City, where that's a very tough place to play, very loud. But, I mean, they get that experience from that game. They got that big loss out of the way, and I don't really expect it to happen again. If they were, I mean, very far down the line, but if they were to, that's just a little bit of playoff type atmosphere experience. A huge game like that against a really good team. I mean, you don't want to lose that game, but you do at least silver lining, get that experience.
That's why I love sports. It's like I'm gonna go back to college football. Ohio State's lost against Michigan, and Notre Dame's lost against NIU. The best thing that could have happened to that team. Because
that showed the Cavs.
It teaches you something.
Yeah, it showed the Cavs like, hey,
it makes you wake up and realize,
yeah,
all right, we're not on top of the world.
Yeah.
Get taken down a peg.
Yeah.
Same thing for the Cavs. Hopefully they can bounce back. I think the Timberwolves they take on tomorrow, Saturday.
Yes, at the Timberwolves. That'll be a tough game too.
That'll be a tough game, but get ready for that.
Yeah.
You got humbled. It's a good thing. I like it when teams get humbled.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. That's why I love sports, like I said, with Ohio State losing to Michigan and NIU taking care of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Now look at them.
Yeah.
National championship. You love to see that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The Cavs, still insane what they're doing right now. It's actually insane. Still can't believe that they're 34-6. But a matchup I'm looking forward to tonight is the Magic and Celtics. Banchero's back. And he's already averaging like close to 30 a game.
ESPN also.
Yeah, I hope the Magic can pull it off here tonight. Help build the stretch or a lead for the Cavs for the 1 seed. I think it's like 6 right now.
Please, Magic.
Yeah. But the
we're up
Magic
6.
and Celtics. You got the Wolves and Knicks. And then those are the 2 games I'll be looking at.
Yeah. So for this season so far from the NBA, we're about halfway through the season. Trade deadline will be coming up here soon. What teams do you think should be buying, and what teams do you think should be selling?
I think the Heat need to do something.
They're
with
probably
all
my number one.
with-
Need to at least make a move.
With all the pandemonium going on with Butler.
They're stuck in no man's
Apparently
land with him.
he's staying. Is Butler like just staying on the team?
I don't know.
Will he be back from his suspension? I'm not sure. But the Heat, they need to make a move somewhere. And I saw a couple of tweets last night with Cam Johnson and the Cavs. If the Cavs want to get Cam Johnson, and I wouldn't be against that at all.
No,
He's very versatile.
That'd be a very good addition.
He's like 6'8", I think.
Yeah, he could kind of take Niang's role. Get those 15,
sure.
20 minutes.
I love Niang, but I think Cam Johnson will be a better fit right there.
Yeah.
But I've seen some tweets about that, and like everyone wants to be in Cleveland. So Cam Johnson, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on over.
Yeah,
here,
that would be
hopefully
great.
make a run with us. But other than that, I just think it's just the Heat who are they in the play-in right now?
They are
right
currently
there?
the 8th seed.
8th seed.
Yeah.
They're right there. I think they need to make a move. Hopefully Jimmy Butler can get his stuff figured out and just lock in, man. What are they, like 500 right now?
20-19.
Right around there. Yeah, they need to make a move, and hopefully they can bounce back because, I mean, the team's there. You got Adebayo, you got Hero. I mean, and then Butler when he comes back and hopefully locks in, then hopefully you pick someone up before the trade deadline, and you got a solid team right there.
Yeah.
And like everyone else, it was a while ago, back before Christmas break, when we were talking about the Bucks struggling, the Knicks struggling, the Celtics were like iffy, but like now they're
Celtics are in
2, 3, 4 seed. Bucks are picking it up. I think they're like 12-2 last 14 games, or they had a stretch.
Who?
Of the Bucks. They had a stretch. They've had a good
They're
stretch.
6-4 in their last 10.
All right, they've struggled as of late.
But they're in 4th right now, 22-17.
Yeah, they've picked it up lately. Those teams that we were really shocked that were struggling, we were really shocked. We were doing really good.
Yeah.
And like obviously it's cooled off a little bit, but we're still going insane.
34-6.
Yeah, with a loss to the Celtics, 2 to the Hawks, the Thunder, Pacers, Heat.
Yeah.
Those 6 teams.
Yeah.
We're definitely a 60-win team, though, I think.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
So I would say a couple teams for me. I would like to see the Pistons try and bring somebody in. They've been exciting.
They've been on fire, dude.
Currently 21-20. They're the 9th seed in the East. I would like to see them.
Bigger staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he's a bad coach. Doing a good job with the Pistons.
Just needed a change of scenery.
Yeah. Philadelphia, a team who I don't know what they do, but something's gotta happen. They're 15-24.
Injuries are killer, and
it stinks.
I hate seeing. Why am I forgetting his name?
Paul George?
No.
Maxey?
The rookie.
Oh,
McCain.
Jared McCain?
McCain.
He's very good.
I loved him, dude.
Yeah.
Just everything about him.
He's really good.
Just everything about McCain. I loved him. Just his attitude, the way he played, it was amazing. And then with Embiid and George and Maxey, I love Tyrese Maxey too. And Tom and my dad being Philly fans. It's been rough for them, but Embiid has just been injured so much lately. But I think they could make a move, and hopefully Embiid comes back and McCain's out indefinitely. So hopefully he can be back, but from the looks of it, he probably won't be back till late April playoff time.
Yeah, I don't know. It would surprise me honestly if they make the playoffs. They're currently 3 games out.
Yeah. The play-in or
of the play-in.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. So the West Coast, really the team that I think needs to do something is the Suns. I think they've gone under the radar for a team who deserves to get hated on. They're 20-20. They have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, who is now on the bench. He's their 6th man because he's been so bad.
Wow.
And Devin Booker.
Yeah, I've seen Booker has dropped 5 straight 30-point performances.
Yeah, but they're 20-20. They're the 10th seed. It's just something. I think
Booker can't carry that team himself.
No, and I just think it's not working with those 3 guys. I never thought it would work with those 3 guys. Honestly, I don't like those type of teams where it's just 3 stars and nobody else. Because you could say that about the Cavs that they were, but they weren't because they had also a very good 5 or 6 role players. The Suns don't have that at all. It's just those 3 guys and nobody else, and that's just not a recipe for success. Yeah. I think the Suns need to try to get rid of. They need to do something. I think they're kind of stuck with those 3 guys because I don't know if one of them gets traded, it could ruin the morale of the locker room or do something. I don't know what they do, but it's just not good right now, and I think it was a mistake for them getting those 3 guys because I think having 2 stars and 4 or 5 really good role players is so much better than having 3 stars and 1 or 2 good role players because it's a team game, and just I don't like what the Suns are doing at all right now, but a team I think needs to buy is the Kings. They got that. They fired Brown, which I didn't think was really the right move.
I hated that. I hated that.
But yeah, they're another team kind of stuck. They're 21-20.
That's another
9th seed in the West.
You got Sabonis. You got Fox.
Yeah,
you got De'Aaron Fox. DeMontis.
They should
Sabonis.
have a very good team. They have really good roster, but for something's just not clicking. I think if they could just make a move, switch something up. DeRozan this year with them.
Yeah,
and he's averaging 21 points a game, but something just not working with them. So I don't know what the Kings do. And another team who I would really like to see buy is the Spurs.
Oh, really?
They're 19-20 right now. I would just like to see them bring somebody in and help out Wemby, kind of make a push for the play-in.
Yeah,
I would like to see something like that.
How far out are they?
They're 19-20. They're a half game out from the Suns.
I mean, with the team they have right now, I think they can make a push.
Yeah,
playoff.
If a team were to buy and bring somebody in, I would like it to be them.
Yeah, Wemby starting to form. I think having Chris Paul has been good for him. Mm-hmm. And their bench players have been really good too. Mm-hmm. But the Spurs are starting to get out of that rebuild. Yeah, they're heading towards the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and the Western Conference is so good that even at about 500, they're still the 12th seed because the West is just so good. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean the NBA, some teams buying and selling. Any teams that you could see that aren't in the top 2 or 3 in their conference making a playoff run, a deep run? Any teams that you could see?
Trying to get deep playoff.
Mavericks right now in 7th. Clippers in 5th. Nuggets right now in 4th.
Jeez, that's tough to say right now.
You know, I could like the Pistons to maybe get in and pull off an upset if they could jump up a little bit, because I don't know if they'd probably have to, I would say, get up to the 6 or 5 seed, which they're only a game and a half out of that, because if they stay in the play-in 7 or 8, I don't see them beating the Cavs or Celtics. But if they were to jump into the 3 through 6, I could definitely see them getting a win in the first round. It's one of those teams that's just young and exciting, so I could see that happening.
Right now, I don't see any of that happening. It'd be really cool if any of that happened, but right now I just see the top teams, the top juggernauts getting the job done, like the Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Bucks. I just see them just having the playoff and then them fighting for the finals.
Yeah. So,
as for the West, you said the Mavs. I mean, that team. I mean, injured all the time, Luka and Kyrie. If they can just find a way to stay healthy, you can put some games together, and you're on a roll.
Yeah, even if they're a play-in team, wouldn't surprise me if they.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to like the second round.
So I think that's about it for NBA. So we can close it off with a little college basketball. Been a very exciting season so far. Good games almost every night. The 2 big conferences this year, it's the SEC and the Big Ten, which are, to me, the 2 most exciting conferences. The Big 12 has a few teams at the top with Kansas and Iowa State and Houston, and then over in the Big East, they got, obviously, UConn, Marquette, who almost lost to DePaul the other night, and who else is good in the Big East? I don't even know. It's really just those 2.
Villanova.
Yeah, they're all right. St. John's has been good. Creighton's been good. And then the ACC it's kind of just Duke and everybody else. There is that second tier. With Pitt and Clemson, and I guess North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina's really struggled this year.
They've been terrible.
But yeah, Pitt. I think they're down to 12-5 now, or is it
12 and 5, 3-3 in the conference.
Dude,
Louisville's having a really good season so far, 6-1. They've got good wins.
Yeah, Pitt lost to Louisville, lost to Duke, and then we lost to Wisconsin. We got crushed by Mississippi State.
Mississippi State is very good, though.
Mississippi State is really good. But last night, I don't know if you saw the walk-off three-pointer Minnesota had against
from
Michigan. Was it Garcia or something?
I don't know.
It was Garcia, 32-foot walk-off.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
And then Oregon State pulling off the upset against Gonzaga.
Yeah, big win.
That was insane.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that at all.
So, any predictions on I'd say the SEC and the Big Ten, I guess we can make predictions on, because those are the 2 conferences that are still kind of wide open as to who's going to be the winner. The Big 12, it's kind of really just Iowa State, especially with that win over Kansas. They're definitely the favorites now. ACC is Duke's. I mean, that's not really close.
Yeah.
Big East is, I think it's probably going to be Marquette's or UConn's. But the SEC and the Big Ten, to me, are the 2 most exciting conferences. So,
yeah, I think.
What are your predictions for those 2?
Oregon's in the Big Ten now,
yes.
Right? I think Oregon can make an exciting push to win the Big Ten.
Close win at Ohio State the other day, that was big.
Yeah, that was big. But I think Oregon can make a special run, though. But the Big Ten is pretty filled. You got the Spartans, Boilermakers, Wolverines,
it's
Illinois.
They have like 4 or 5 of those teams that are in the top 25, but not in the like top 10. So they don't have like the top end like championship contender type of team, but they have 4 or 5 that are right there in that second tier. So I think it's going to be a really tight race. I like Michigan State so far.
Yeah, and then the SEC, as you said, exciting as well. You got 2 teams that were number 1 in the country, Auburn and Tennessee, was it?
Yes, Tennessee was number 1.
Yeah, but those 2 teams were number 1, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Alabama's 4 right now, but they're going to drop because they lost to Ole Miss. Kentucky is really good. Florida is really good, even though they just lost to Mizzou, Texas A&M is really good.
Yeah, the
even though they
entire
lost at
conference is
home.
wide open.
I think
That's an exciting conference.
I think it's going to be Auburn who's going to win it. Even without Janai Broom, they dominated a really good Mississippi State team.
Yeah.
The thing that does make me kind of
points
think,
a game.
yeah, the SEC is insane.
Wow.
Auburn, I think they're going to have these next few weeks without Janai Broom. He's got an ankle injury, which those can kind of linger, so who knows how long he's out for. But I think Bruce Pearl is one of the best coaches in the SEC, and just they're just really good. When I watched them in the Maui Invitational, I was like, this is the best team in the country. When I watched that game between them and Iowa State, I was like, these are the two best teams in the country, and I still think that's probably true. They're ranked 1 and 2 right now. Yeah, this.
Yeah, Iowa
The
State.
SEC, I'm saying it's Auburn.
The Iowa State most recently, they just crushed Kansas.
Yeah, at home.
Kansas
by
has had
20.
like 2 losses that have been like by a lot. I don't remember exactly. They've had like 2 losses that were by a lot, at least when I look at sports.
They lost to Creighton by 13. They lost to Mizzou.
Yeah.
Lost to West Virginia.
Good Lord.
They did beat Duke, which that was early in the season. But that's a very good win.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Kansas a little crumble here, but
yeah,
I think they'll bounce back and they'll be fine. Teams.
Yeah.
I just hope Pitt can pick it up here.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a path to making the NCAA tournament. They're gonna have to win some games though, especially some of those.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to. I don't know how many games they have left against the.
I think we got Duke one more time.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, and then you're gonna have to beat a Louisville or Clemson or Wake Forest, because those are the teams that are
Florida State too.
Yeah, and you really can't have any more of those losses.
No, not at all. Good
So,
Lord.
Yeah, I'd say just exciting for those two conferences. Once we get into conference play I love Feast Week, but once you get into conference play, start getting into the conference matchups is when I really start getting hyped up.
Does that start beginning of March, or is it
championships? Yeah. The small conferences start like a few days before, like March 1st, and then you get into the big conferences, which honestly I like the smaller conferences tournaments more because they're playing for a lot more, and in most cases with those big conferences, you kind of already know who's making the tournament and who's not. You do have the cases with like NC State last year where they played their way into the tournament, but for the most part, it's kind of just like we know where these teams are in the tournament. It's just it is still a huge accomplishment to win your conference, but I do like the smaller conferences more. Speaking of smaller conferences, Akron playing tonight against Ohio, huge game. That's probably the biggest game of the night, honestly. We do have a mid-off between Indiana and Ohio State, two teams who are very bad right now in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
people are calling for Mike Woodson's job, and Ohio State
just
hasn't been able to figure it out.
Ohio State has the team, I think, on paper, but they just can't figure it out right now.
Yeah, but Akron against Ohio. Two teams undefeated in the MAC so far, both 4-0 in the conference. Ohio was picked to win it. Game is at Akron. Akron 3.5-point favorites.
You gonna be there?
No. Game starts at 6, so in 40 minutes I'll be watching it on TV. I was at the game on Tuesday against Toledo, so I don't know. I didn't feel like making the drive back home, but yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Also nationally televised, CBS Sports games on CBS Sports. So go Zips for that one. I won't take too much time talking about my special little Zips.
I think that's about it. I think.
Well, I also game of the year so far in college basketball. If we have any games that we've watched so far this year that were really fun, for me, it's kind of just the entirety of Feast Week. Like I mentioned, that Auburn and Iowa State game was probably my favorite game of the year so far. If you have any game of the year,
I don't think so yet. I couldn't really pick one out.
It's all right. And then also I want to highlight tomorrow at noon, we got Kentucky and Alabama, which is maybe the two best offenses in the country. Alabama, I don't know if they still are, but they were averaging the most points in the country at 91, and Kentucky has a really, really good offense. So I'm very excited for that game tomorrow. And there's a bunch of other games on Saturday too. College basketball Saturdays are just the best. Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't wait. Tonight, 40 minutes, we got Akron, Ohio, and then we got Kentucky, Bama on Saturday, 4 versus 8. But finish it off. Closing question. Ramsey, what are your favorite uniforms in sports? Not your team. I'll say that. You can't pick your own teams.
I can't pick my own teams.
Yeah, so unbiased. Current uniforms too. We're not gonna get messed in with these throwbacks.
Man. I mean, I would say, the Steelers Bumblebees we're always a fan of. I was always a fan of.
Yeah.
But, good Lord.
Good Lord.
There's a lot of good uniforms.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from. I will say the whiteout uniforms that teams have been starting to go into.
Yeah.
I like those.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, even the Browns and the Vikings, and even the Lions alternate.
Packers.
I love the Lions alternate uniforms.
The black ones?
Black ones and the dark blue helmet.
Those are really clean.
Yeah, I like those. And I like Houston's H-Town uni.
I wasn't a huge fan of those, but yeah.
I wish the Steelers would do some of their OG. I wish they would.
Too traditional.
Bring back, I wish they would bring back the Bumblebees or just make a new uniform.
I'm surprised they
bring back a
white. They haven't done the Bumblebees in a while.
They had a white on white back in the 70s, the steel curtain. But bring back that, and you can take away the thick block numbers. I love the block numbers personally. Take away that. Bring back maybe a gray face mask, the gray face masks we wore. And maybe the whiteout helmet with just our 3 diamonds, shiny diamonds on one side.
Yeah.
Like we always do, just one side of the helmet.
One of my favorites, I don't really like them, but Notre Dame, they just I really like the gold. I really like, especially in the playoffs when they get their names on them.
Yeah.
And it looks just kind of extra special. I really like theirs.
Yeah, Blaine does love them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it. Raider Zone.
Yeah.
Just quaint little Raider Zone. 2 chill guys. Just talking ball. Yeah, we'll have Raider Zone. Hopefully we'll have one again next week. I don't see why not, but yeah, big weekend coming up for sports.
Yeah.
What game are you most excited for, if you could pick one?
Probably the Ravens.
Bills. Ravens. I'd say for me it's either that or Kentucky Bama tomorrow. For me, long weekend too, 3-day weekend. So
It is.
yeah, thank you for listening.